Yeah, it's a young man's game, until it's not, and then,
Yeah.
it like everything, right? It has its course.
Yeah.
So I decided that, being a millionaire wasn't enough. I wanted more, and that's when I really started to think bigger, and, I wanna play in the billionaires club, and that's really where the mindset started to grow, and being here in Silicon Valley, you're surrounded with more millionaires and billionaires than anywhere else in the world,
Hmm.
and the mindset is different.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello and welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I am Cody Crabb with Investor Fuel. Today joining me is Mauricio Mejia. He's the owner and operator of California Development Group and a serial entrepreneur in many different areas. He said he started in 2005 and has worked across thousands of units, millions of square feet. And we're going to talk today about how he manages in such a difficult environment, what he does to stay ahead, and kind of how he got started and what advice he has for operators such as our listeners. So, Mauricio, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. I'm excited. Congratulations too, by the way, on your podcast and what you're doing.
Thank you.
It's always interesting when people say when they want to start a podcast, they just don't realize how much work it is.
That is
Uh,
the truest thing. Yeah, that is so true. Yeah.
yeah. So
Um,
good. Well, no, I'm glad to be a guest here, and I'm glad to share with the world and your universe. Real estate development, and what it takes to play in the big boy league.
yeah, that's and big boy league it is indeed. I mean, you're talking at like a high level here. And
Absolutely.
in one of the most difficult markets in the country. So that already has me pretty interested. Um, First, you mentioned it. We were chatting a little bit before, and you mentioned you had a pretty unusual path. You didn't go as a kid. You're not like, I'm going to go into real estate. When you started out, you were in a very different industry. Is that right?
Absolutely. So I grew up in Los Angeles, and LA back in my days, in the mid '80s, early '90s. Life was just very different, and I chose a path of music, entertainment, when the other path of getting involved in drugs or gangs was prominent in the area that I was growing up in, and I fell in love with nightlife, and became a very prominent nightclub promoter. Then I became an operator, and I've done thousands of shows with many celebrities, I mean, you name it back in the day, from the early '90s to 2000s. I
Okay.
did it.
We got to hear a couple names. We got to hear
Yeah.
impress us a little bit. You got to name drop a little bit.
Well, I mean, we've done shows with like DJ Quick. We've done shows with which was a big hip hop artist back then.
Uh-huh.
We've done shows with, oh my God, there was like in the early '90s, back Tone Loc, After
Oh,
Seven, Next, what other groups? I mean, some of the big groups. I did a lot of stuff in the Latino market. We did
yeah,
Alejandra Guzman, Enanitos Verdes, Hombres G. Done a lot of, was big in the Latin market,
yeah.
and in concerts, and clubs. I mean, it was crazy. It was a fun lifestyle. got to learn a lot and got to experience a lot to the point where from 15 years old when I started doing street promotions, I got accepted to San Jose State, came up to San Jose State in the Bay Area, and 4 years in college. On my last year, I decided I wanted to drop out because I was making so much money that I was like, you know what, I'm going to go all in as an entrepreneur, and made my first million at 25. And then that's when I really realized that I needed to pivot or diversify what I was doing, because nightlife was fun, but it once it becomes a job or something that you rely on, it's not fun anymore.
Yeah,
So
that's true with a lot of things. That's very true.
Mhm.
As soon as
Yeah.
you have to do it. Yeah, it starts
Yep.
to be a little difficult. Well, and also, I mean, I feel like that's just me aging talking, but that sounds like a bit of a young man's game. But
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Absolutely. You hit
that
it right on the
sounds
money. Yeah, it's a young man's game, until it's not, and then
yeah.
it like everything, right? It has its course.
Yeah.
So I decided that being a millionaire wasn't enough. I wanted more,
Mhm.
and that's when I really started to think bigger, and I want to play in the billionaires club, and that's really where the mindset started to grow. And being here in Silicon Valley, you're surrounded with more millionaires and billionaires than anywhere else in the world,
Hmm.
and the mindset is different. I live in the heart of San Jose, in the downtown, which is the heart of Silicon Valley. Outside my window, I mean, if we look to my right now, GTC is happening, which is the largest AI convention in the world. NVIDIA, we got Apple, we got Zoom, we got all the headquarters are here. So there's a lot of great things that are happening here, and a real strong mindset, and a very high level of standards. So you got to keep up with it if you want to play in that universe.
Yeah. So, just out of curiosity, did any of those nightlife skills kind of transfer when you were kind of moving to real estate? Like, did any of those well, that came in handy when I was
Oh,
switching over?
100%. People skills. You learn to read people, because on a weekly basis, you're dealing with hundreds, if not thousands of people, and you're really getting to see human behavior. You get to see and understand. You get to feel people's energy. You can tell somebody is walking in is not in a good mood, and you want to try to. When they walk into the nightlife, it's a version of escape, right? You're creating this. You're orchestrating a distraction for the evening, so you get to learn a lot of people skills, and you get to meet a lot of great people. I mean, I've had first 12 employees of Google that walked into my venue. I've had major
Wow.
celebrities like U2, Madonna, the Black Eyed Peas, Jamie Foxx. I mean, there's been a lot of great people that have walked, uh, that I've met and have crossed paths with me
Yeah.
being in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, I bet. And so okay, so once you decided you're going to diversify, I'm curious, kind of what did that first initial pivot look like, and then kind of how did that escalate into where you are today?
Good question, by the way. That's one of the things that led me to write one of my books. I shared with you behind the scenes. I have published 3 books. One of the books that I wrote was Smoke and Mirrors, and that talks about me in the nightlife industry. The second book I wrote was called Decide, Commit, Execute. And in order to move in life, you have to learn to make decisions, right? Because a yes and a no is a decision. A yes is you're moving through the easier path. A no is until you keep going until you get a yes, right? Until you figure it out. And part of that is action, right? So decide, make the decision, commit to your decision, and then execute, taking action. So a lot of it is just is really sticking to what you decide you're going to do, and then committing to it, and then moving forward. And for me, diversifying from when I saw how much money I was making in the entertainment. I got caught in the traps, right? Had the Ferrari, had the beautiful loft. I had a big 350-gallon saltwater fish tank with a baby shark, right? Because it's the environment, it's the mindset that you have when you're in
Sure.
that universe, right?
Yeah.
You're living the Hollywood life.
Yeah. It's like
But
flashy. Yeah.
right, and that's not a reality, that's a facade, and, as much as I know probably the young audience out there wants to live that, it's fun until you have to maintain it. I always told people, I said, "Yeah, it's fun having a Ferrari, but it's a $2,500 to $3,500 oil change
Yeah.
because,
No kidding.
the tire replacement, it's $1,000 a tire, so you blow out a tire, it's $1,000,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's the maintenance of these toys and
Yeah.
this lifestyle. So it's fun while you're getting there, but it's
Yeah.
not something that's sustainable or something that you want to do
Yeah.
forever. It's
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I remember the first time I walked into someone I know bought a massive house. It was by far the biggest one I'd ever seen. And I walk in this house and it was like ridiculous, like marble floors. Like it was like exactly what you're picturing when you think like fancy house. So you walk in the door and it's these fancy, but then the further you go in the house, as they got like to the bedrooms and the other additions and stuff, it starts just looking like a normal house. And I'm like, that's the perfect analogy. Like they just want to look fancy to people walking in the front. They don't
that's
like the
it.
deeper you go, it's not that impressive. So
It's part of the smoke and mirrors, man, and then again, when you think of the big houses, right, you think of the maintenance, right, the
yeah,
maintenance
no
of those
kidding.
homes, just the air conditioning, the electricity, I mean, everything. It just starts to add up that
Yeah.
you really think, am I working to better myself or am I working to sustain a lifestyle? So it's part of life and it's part of entrepreneurship, and you'll start to realize, yeah, these big billionaires, trust me, I've come across a lot of them, and their lifestyle is just, it's a normal, it's a simple, right? As much as the world wants to fantasize and create these illusions, it's all it is an illusion, man.
Yeah, it says something that's a pretty common thing among like the super wealthy, is that they're like
Yeah.
cartoon character closet with the same outfit 50 times, like it says something that's kind of how they live. Like I think I read the most common car driven by millionaires is a Ford F-150,
Yeah,
so it's like
probably. I like trucks, but I do like my Chrysler 300. I'm a simple guy. I
see,
like it.
that's like
I'm
on the level of like cool, but like still normal cool. Like, it's
Yeah,
not a
no,
crazy car.
I don't have to worry if a tire blows out. It's $150.
Yeah, it's no
Oil
problem.
change, $150
Yeah.
bucks. I'm cool. The car's comfortable. It's clean, and it's my third one already. I mean, I've had the fancy toys, but that's not important
Yeah.
to me right now. I think if anything, it's more growing the businesses that I'm in. I love development. I love helping others. The multiple business right now. I shared with you. I'm in the middle of an acquisition of one of my companies, a staffing company that I built. I've been doing that for 10 years as well, and we provide labor for big stadiums like SoFi Stadium in Southern California, the Los Angeles Coliseum. We do a lot of we put a lot of people to work. At one point, I had the largest staffing company for fire and water restoration, meaning when those big California fires were happening here, we were sending the labor, the first responders to do the cleanup of those areas. And it might have not been sexy, right? But we put a lot of people to work, and we helped a lot of communities. So
Yeah, wow. Well,
yeah.
there's a lot there already.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. We already. I mean, we could go off track real quick. I mean, going back to real estate and real estate development.
yeah,
I'll tell you right now, man. I'll give you a high level of what I'm involved in right now. So,
yeah, please.
I'm here in San Jose, heart of Silicon Valley. Our partners have about $450 million worth of investment in just dirt. The next group that's behind us is Google. Google has $350 million worth of investment, just to show you the scale. Once the developments happen and they get built out, we'll probably have about $5 billion worth of development investments in the downtown core. Google will probably have, because they're building some real mega stuff, different products, they'll probably have last thing I read was probably about a $16 billion investment just in the downtown core. And when I say downtown core, we're talking about a downtown that has about 100,000 people. We are the third largest city in California. San Jose is. And then we have the first one being Los Angeles. And then we're being the third one. I believe that Sacramento or San Diego are the second one. So, and then I'm working on another project in the city of Oakland, which is about 45 minutes north of where I'm at. And a group of people that I'm working with, they're the ones that are purchasing the Oakland Coliseum. And that's a huge project that, you're talking about a $5 billion development, high density mixed use development, with stadiums and all kinds of entertainment goodies, to be added. So, and for people to try to understand that and put that in perspective, you guys are out in Texas, right? So
That's
there's a
right.
lot of, like, for example, the Dallas Cowboy Stadium, right? They built all these different things around it so that they can complement that stadium. So we're building things like that on a grand scale. So what part of Texas are you in?
Well, see, I'm a transplant. I'm technically
Okay.
not even in Texas. The
Okay.
Investor Fuel is. I'm in Salt Lake
Uh,
City.
Oh, I
So
love Salt Lake City. Yeah, I've been up there a couple of times too. Yeah.
funny that you say that because nobody ever says that. They
Yeah.
they
I like it because it's cool, it's calm, but I was up there. I went up to the Zion Mountains, which was so south,
yeah
but
yeah
then I
yeah
went to Salt Lake City because we went up to some big lake up there in I don't know, it's up north, like in
Bear Lake.
Utah. Yeah, Bear Lake. There you go, that
Yeah
one. Yeah.
yeah
So, but no, I like Salt Lake City. It was pretty cool going up
yeah. It's
there.
pretty neat.
I have a lot of friends up in that area, so cool.
Cool. Yeah. Well, so we're kind of getting into the real estate thing. I mean, it sounds like you've got so many, like, so many tendrils in so many areas. Like it seems like, what's your biggest bottleneck? Because I mean, it kind of just sounds like it's because there's one of you only. I mean, is that what it is? Because it sounds like, I mean, how can you manage all this? Like, what's your biggest bottleneck right now?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I got to tell you, once you understand the different businesses that you're in and you understand the business cycles, you start learning how to time manage yourself. And that's something that I learned back in 2007. I was at a conference here. Mark Zuckerberg was speaking. People that don't know who Mark Zuckerberg is, founder of Facebook, and they asked him, hey, how is it that you're doing this without, and with all of the bugs that Facebook had at the time, and it still has bugs. He says, you know what, we just do it. Uh, we don't we're always continuously learning, and we're doing things, and we learn to time manage ourselves, and that's how we're able to manage all the different levels of things that we're doing. So I have multiple lanes. I have my staffing business, which is one lane. I got my real estate and development, which is my second lane. I have my my entertainment, my books, my podcast lane. That's my creative space that allows me to bring balance to myself. And not everything requires a 40-hour a week. That's an illusion also created by society. I like to in one day I break it down to 3 days. I get up at 4:30 in the morning. I do all of my personal stuff. Workout. Do a version of meditation, meaning like when I have my headset on, I'm thinking of I'm listening and feeding my mind either good music, positive music, or I'm listening to some crazy theorist or something that just is feeding my mind. I don't
Yeah.
fall into all the noise around the
Gets you
world.
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny on one of my treadmills, which I love treadmill day because I get to play solitaire or chess on the computer while I'm walking. And what it's doing is just exercising my brain, right? It's giving me critical thinking. And then I don't start anything. My first appointment is not till 10 o'clock. I don't do anything before then. I'll take maybe a call or two. So then I start my second day already, which is from 10 to 3, which is then I do all the heavy push from that time. And then from 3 on is I allow myself to do other creative stuff, or I balance myself. So in one day, I breaking it up into 3 days or 3 chunks,
Yeah.
and it allows me to time manage, and then I stay consistent with it. Doesn't mean it's perfect, but consistency is always going to be key in order to be successful in anything that we want to do.
Yeah, I think that's right. It's the old do a little bit very well,
Yeah.
instead of trying to do a huge goal and kind of failing at it, because that way, you can still, it's just incremental progress is always going to be better than just trying to make all the change at once, for sure.
And have a strong team. I can't do things by myself. I'm just one of many. Just that some in my situation, I'm the head of the team, but I also know how to delegate and work with others. If I try to do it all by myself, I'd go crazy. So, for example, in the real estate, there's multiple partners. There's different people that handle different things, and we all come together when our time is to get in the game. Right? It's like a football team, right? There's only one quarterback on there, and then you have multiple players, right? And you spread across the field, and you try to get to you try to make that touchdown. So, and that's just the way it works with any business. You got to have a team. Podcast, right? We got to have a team that handles all of the editing and all of the nuts and bolts behind the scene. And because if we were to not only be the talent, be on the show or do the production, and had to go do all the editing, we'd burn ourselves out.
That's all you're going to do. Yeah. That's you
Yeah,
full time now. Yeah.
yeah. And then it's not fun anymore, and it
Yeah.
becomes a job, and it doesn't become a creative space.
Yeah. I
So,
feel you. Okay, so
mhm.
you gave me a really good outline of, like, personally how you kind of manage so many different things at once. But on the business side, like, I'm curious, is there something within the real estate deals that is slowing you down right now?
Mm, yeah, money. I think that the cost of money right now, the where we're at in the universe,
Sure. Yeah.
what the current state of the world is, it uh, it has a say in what we're trying to do. Right now interest rates are so high, and being that we live here in California, and we're here specifically in Silicon Valley, the cost of labor is expensive. The cost of materials is expensive. So when everything is too high, the numbers then don't pencil out. Sometimes you have to sit and wait until the right moment, right? It's kind of like a surfer, right? He goes out into the ocean, and he waits to that wave, right? And then maybe he gets one or two waves a day, maybe he doesn't get any waves, but it's a waiting game. Sometimes, people suffer because they can't weather the weight, and then there's others that can weather it because um, they're properly positioned. And luckily for us, we're positioned well, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and out of curiosity, like, what
yeah.
has changed compared to, like, a couple of years ago? I mean, you said this is the snapshot of today's economy. Like, what is it that has changed in your view that's making things a little more pressured and
Well,
stuff?
it's a ripple effect. COVID, if you think about it, we just celebrated the 6-year anniversary of COVID this past weekend. Being here in
Wow.
Santa Clara,
Wow. I didn't know
yes.
that. That's kind of wild, actually. Sorry, I didn't mean to react
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
no, no.
That
Uh,
seems 6 years ago. So that seems impossible.
I'm going to blow your mind even more. So Friday the 13th that just passed,
Huh?
6 years ago was Friday the 13th when we had COVID in 2020. So March 13th, our governor here gets on the horn and says that state of California is going to go into shelter in place. On Sunday, on March 15th, Santa Clara County, the county that I live in, announces that effective midnight, Santa Clara County is going to be the first county in the entire United States is going to shelter in place. And by Monday, March 16th, um, yesterday, we were in shelter in place. So it was pretty eerie feeling. And then, of course, a couple of days later, the entire country started shutting down. At that time, I remember we had just filed in February of 2020. We had filed our SEC forms for one of my companies to go public. So we were excited because we were thinking, how big of a yacht are we going to buy, and all the toys and stuff, right? Because we're going to be playing in the Billionaires Club. And then, of course, when the world shut down,
Yeah, that's
a
not
lot of
great.
things happened. So moving right along, there was a lot of developments that were supposed to go vertical in 2020, 21, 22. But when the world shuts down,
Yeah.
the delays, the ripple effects start to ripple.
Yeah, I feel like we're hitting like the tail end of the ripples still right now. Yeah.
Well, we're hitting the tail, but then now we're going in. Now we got an instability again in the world. So
Yeah,
it's like,
there's always going to be
at what
something.
point, when does this nonsense stop?
Yeah.
Right? And we can't, without going into politics, because that's not where we want to go. It's being, for me, it's about humanity. It's about doing the right things and keeping things going. But we got to also remember that there's people that are playing whole different level, global games. I mean, they're in different universes. They're talking about different things, and these wars are driven by other situations, other interests. So, but everyone, there's an effect, a ripple effect that travels and impacts everyone in a different way. Some people are making a lot of money right now during chaos, and during chaos, there's a lot of people that are not. And then when there's no chaos, there's a lot of people making money, and the people that are normally making money when there's chaos are not making money. So it's kind of it's a
Yeah.
pendulum.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we want to try to stay in the middle, and it just seems that we had a 4-year break, and then now we're back at it, and now we just got to see what happens.
Are you passing now on deals that you maybe would have taken a few years ago because of that?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Oh,
there's a lot of a lot of great deals that are coming, but because of the positioning, we have to complete what we've started. And that's important. You have to complete things that needed to get completed. You can't jump around. You could, but then again, you're creating more layers of management, more responsibilities, and then you're also you're just you're thinning yourself out. You can't be a jack of all trades and win all of them. You could be jack of trades and win some, but it just depends.
yeah. Yeah, I feel that. Um,
Yeah.
all right. So out of curiosity, like if capital dropped or suddenly stuff got easier for you money wise, how much more could you actually scale then? Because it sounds like I mean, maybe I'm just not very imaginative.
I would not be. I'm capped.
Gotcha.
There's only I mean, between the two different projects that I'm involved in, or the different groups that I'm involved in, my bandwidth is capped out.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Sounds like
When
it.
I
Yeah.
was when I was younger, I wanted to conquer the world, and I remember I had so many teams that I remember that I would start trying to juggle and keep everything in the air. And when you start dropping balls and you start making mistakes, and then you start feeling the ripple effects of your mistakes, then you start wondering, I'm like, damn, what am I need to shed some of this, and I need to realign and focus myself on what is the best use of my time. And that's really what it comes down to, is what's going to be the best use of my time, so that I could be the best contributor to my team.
Yeah, and I really like that you were like to framing yourself as a contributor to your team instead of a like they work for me kind of thing. Like I think it's important to view it that way.
Yeah,
So
nobody. I always tell people, you don't work for me. And even when I hear people call me boss, or hey, I work for him, I said, no, no, no. Let me because words are powerful. I tell people, you work with me, not for me.
yeah,
If you want to work for me, I don't need you. I don't want you. I want you to work with me, because I rather have teammates than to have people that are just subservient. That's not who we don't grow that way. I mean, and again, some people it's by habit, but I want everyone to be a team leader and a self-starter, have to be managed all the time. I don't mind directing and
yeah,
guiding, But if I gotta be on top of you, managing you, then I become a manager. Then I'm not a leader.
Yeah, you don't want to be a manager. Yeah, I hear that. This has been so great. We've had so many great little stories and nuggets there that have been really helpful to me. Hearing how you're able to kind of navigate the scale and timing and everything. There's just a couple more questions as we finish out
Yeah.
here. So one of the things I always ask is if if you were in front of an audience, let's say you're in front of well, you are right now actually in front of an audience of real estate investors, and you had a mic for just like 10 seconds. You had like one little quick thing to share with them that they could do that or not do that would really move the needle for them. What would be that thing? I'm handing you the mic right now. Go.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, don't give up on what your dream is. Keep focused on your goal. And just know that it's not easy. And if it was easy, everybody would be doing what we're doing. Period.
Okay,
So,
great. Perfect. That's so good. It's going in my little notebook of those quotes. Mauricio, thanks so much for joining us. If people want to get in touch with you or learn more, where can they go? I mean, you mentioned a podcast, you mentioned some books. We'd love to hear about those.
yeah. I mean, well, the simplest way is you can Google me, Mauricio Mejia San Jose. And it will give you everything about me. I've always been a very public person. I'm on all social medias. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I have a YouTube channel, a podcast channel that people want to listen to some of the entrepreneurs that I've interviewed as well. They could check it out. We definitely want to have you on there as well. We could talk about what does it take to build a podcast, because
There
I
you
get
go.
that a
Yeah.
lot. Like, oh, Mauricio, I want to do a podcast. I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Then when you tell them,
Listen to this episode. Tell me you still want to do a podcast. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
or then when you tell them the cost, right? Because the cost,
Yeah.
it takes you got to invest. People got to invest in themselves. Period. That's we are a brand, and then our companies are a brand, and it takes time, energy, and money, and people just have a misunderstanding of that. And if anything, I could tell the people that are coming and watching this is invest in yourself and stay focused and never give up. Just keep going.
Fantastic. That is some great advice. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your perspective. Listeners, if you got some value from this, which I know you did, please go ahead and make sure you're subscribed to get more of these. We've got more conversations like this coming up, and we'll see you on the next episode of Real Estate Pros. Take care.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.